Hey, what's up you guys? Marcos Vegas here at the Fight Up TV studios, and just right now, the fight between Sergey Kovalev and Bernard Hopkins just concluded, and Sergey Kovalev proving that he was just too young, too active, too strong, winning ahead and beating Bernard Hopkins via a unanimous decision. Now, when the scorecards were called, the decision read 120 to 107, 120 to 107, and 120 to 106. Now, that tells you something. That tells you that Sergey Kovalev, the whole entire fight, implemented his game plan, never gave Bernard Hopkins a chance to lull him in, like he's done with so many other opponents before, into his fight, and really put on the pressure and just dominate a very game of 49-year-old Bernard Hopkins. Now, I'll touch on that aspect of Bernard Hopkins being 49 and still being able to compete with guys like this, but let's talk about Kovalev's performance. In the opening round, Sergey Kovalev landed a huge right hand that landed on the temple of Bernard Hopkins. Hopkins went down, but survived the round. At that point, I know if you guys were watching at home, certainly I was thinking, oh, wow, it's only a matter of time that Bernard Hopkins could go down. Bernard Hopkins would not go down. He would get caught, but he showed a chin of iron, and in the 12th and final round, if we ever doubted Bernard Hopkins that he wanted an easy way out of fights, I know we saw him in the Chad Dawson fight. Many of you questioned if he maybe took out that fight, took out too early, it checked out, so to say. He didn't do it this time. He went in there in that 12th round, got hit with some big punches, but stood in there and exchanged. Later in his post-fight interview with Max Kellerman of HBO, Hopkins saying that he wanted to see if he could land a punch. You know, he wanted to show the fans that not only he had heart, but fans are paying to see guys fight, and that's what he wanted to give them. Now, Sergey Kovalev continues his winning ways, but Bernard Hopkins breaks his knockout streak that he had of 9 consecutive knockouts, so that gets resetted. And Sergey Kovalev, in his post-fight interview after the fight, when asked, what's next for you? He says it's up to his promoter, it's up to Kathy Duva of Main Events, but the lineal champion in that division is still Adonis Stevenson. Stevenson, though, now with Showtime, we don't know how that might affect a future fight, but Kovalev joking, hey, you know what? I think Bernard Hopkins would be Adonis Stevenson. Hopkins still has a chance to win the WBC title, and kind of making it seem that Kovalev is not really interested in fighting Adonis Stevenson. But let's get to the topic of B-Hop. 49 years old, a man 49 years old, doing something in the ring tonight that guys even half his age, guys in the elite and that light heavyweight division can't do. He made Sergey Kovalev miss a lot. Kovalev would pressure him against the ropes in the corners, and Kovalev would throw 4 or 5 punches and would only land 1. That's testament to not only how great, but how good Bernard Hopkins is. We're never going to see a guy at 49 years old be able to do the things that he's done, not only in this fight, but in prior fights. And every time I have a chance to see Bernard Hopkins fight, I personally see it as a treat, because this guy's a once-in-a-lifetime fighter, and you know what? He showed why he's just such a special fighter here tonight, and missing getting connected with those big shots from Kovalev. But as is the story of boxing, the younger man did win tonight. Sergey Kovalev, by many accounts and by many of you guys online, proved tonight that he's the best light heavyweight in the world. Once again, Sergey Kovalev defeating Bernard Hopkins via unanimous decision. Well, that does it for me here at the Fight Up TV studios. Hope you had a great night. Hope you enjoyed the fight, and I'll see you in the coming week.